everyone tonight here to our study session, to our board meeting. Merry Christmas. I'm glad everyone could join us. We're going to start our session tonight with Pledge of Allegiance. And Vice President Kim Dickerson, could you lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I'd like to get a little roll call here as we get going. Who's at the stand? Start down there at the end there with Mary Ann.
Mary Ann B. Allen, board member.
Corey Holmes, board member. Paul Sweat, superintendent.
Tyler Bluth, board member.
Kim Dickerson, board member.
Tom Hanson, board member.
Jason Watt, business administrator.
Well, thank you. We just came from a very positive and uplifting study session. It was great. We had some representatives from out of state that were helping us a little bit with this school name, and I think we can officially announce that the name of the new high school is Iron Horse Thunder. And we're excited about moving forward with it and putting forth the brand. Again, it's Iron Horse Thunder. Very excited about it. So thank you everybody involved, and excited to move forward with it. I'd like to start with community comment. If we have some comment, you have 2 minutes to come address us. Would love to hear from you. Any comments? Go ahead. Come on up. Appreciate it. Yeah, come right up. Introduce yourselves. Tell us who you are.
Justin Bowen, parent of students at Wasatch. We just were told about the graduation date, which is, I believe, May 28th. Is that what it is? 29th? 29th, even later. Which every year that we've been here for I don't even know how many years, it's always been the week before school gets out. And then come December, they announce that it's going to be after Memorial Day. And so that's a problem for a lot of people. We have a senior and a junior. We have a trip planned for 12 seniors after Memorial Day, which puts us missing graduation because graduation has never been that late, as long as I've been here and had students at Wasatch. And though none are here, I think they're emailing and talking about it because every parent we've talked about is kind of like maybe not May 14th or 16th, but maybe not after Memorial Day. That's going to cause a serious problem for a lot of people, especially when every year previous has been earlier. So I'm not sure if I think there is a way because it's at the high school that it can, you're not bound to the county or to the building. You can have it when you want it. And I would dare say that the majority of the seniors, at least the majority that we've talked to, which we've talked to quite a few, it's going to put a damper on people having it after Memorial Day. And I don't know how we start a petition to change that or if we can, but I think it needs to be changed.
Appreciate it. Any discussion there? I think we'll take that into consideration. There is reasons why we have moved it to there. There really is. But we will take that into consideration with going forward.
Yeah, we did receive your email. I read your email. We just have not had a chance to discuss it, so.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Is there any, because we've had a lot of conversations since it was announced with parents and students. What's the best way to go about that? Is it the email or is it, what's,
Yeah,
if they
we have, no, email's the best way, and
Okay.
we appreciate your email. We are taking it into consideration. We'll look closely at it, but understand your concern. Really do. We do.
You can also set up a time with Stacy and talk to the superintendent directly. If you feel like you need additional discussion and conversation, if it's more of a one-way and you're not hearing back in a timely fashion, Superintendent Sweat is always open to discuss with parents' concerns, and that can be set up through Stacy.
I wondered if it's something that we can, if there's even a say, like if we got a petition and had so many parents sign it, or is it like you're willing to listen and you're willing to understand all these seniors
Oh,
that
sure.
we're not planning on this late in the year, to be aware of that? Or, like, I'd be willing to start a petition, because every parent I've talked to is like, what? Why would that happen so late in the year? So is that something you would listen to if we did that, or is it like there's reasons and it's done?
There's a lot.
I would just say that it's gonna be difficult to change it, because it's been announced, and as soon as we change it, inevitably there will be families that have said they've already bought tickets, they've already made plans, grandma and grandpa have their plane ticket. I will also just say, and I'd love to sit down with you and talk this through myself or some of the staff. This decision, wasn't made lightly. Because of the facility, we've been pushed further and further back into the school year. It's been disruptive to our underclass. It's been disruptive to a lot of our teachers to have so many things that we had to do before graduation, including giving the car away and the things you have to do in a classroom, and so moving it back to the end of the school year is where it used to be before we used the event center, and they had wanted to push us even further into the month of May this year, and we just couldn't see it. We couldn't see continuing on with that, so we've gone back to what we used to do, and that is have it outside, have it on the football field. And there's a lot of activities going on. There's all of the kids involved in spring sports. This is just one example. The date is moved so that all the state tournament play is over, all the playoff games. Oftentimes with graduation, you've got a softball team or the lacrosse team playing right during graduation. Where it's at this year, there'll be no conflicts with any student activities. That's just a few things to throw out. We believe it's the best date academically for the entire school, and I'll just leave it at that. And again, happy to have this discussion further. And is it 100% set in stone? I don't know that it's 100% set in stone. That's going to be up to the board. But is it difficult to change now that it's been out for a few days? Yes, very difficult.
And the facility was the driving force behind this, the event center. That's what elicited the whole change, was part of that.
2 weeks is just like a big change to announce in the end of the second semester. It's not like it's a couple days different. It's nearly 2 weeks what it's been. Every other year we planned, and so plans are made with that in mind, and then end of December or middle of December it comes. Oh, it's actually this date. When
We appreciate your concern.
We will. We'll address it and talk further, and you're welcome to come talk to us. So. I skipped over celebration. Any other comments? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Can I go?
Yeah, go ahead.
Jenna Horrocks and Michelle too. Oh, you can stay there. That's okay. We're just representing the Wasatch Education Association. First things first, thank you for the generous Christmas bonus. In Wasatch, all means all. That means our aides, our lunch ladies, every single person. So thank you for your continuous support of all staff in the district. Second, we just want to publicly thank Mary Ann and Tom, as this is, I believe, your last meeting, right? We appreciate everything you have done. 8 years ago, when Tom was elected, I remember him telling me, we're gonna get you guys paid what you deserve. And he hit the ground running and it didn't stop, so. Mary Ann, same to you. You've always been a text and a phone call away, and we appreciate you. I feel like our relationship between the association and the school board has never been better, and we've worked really, really hard for that, so thank you. Lastly, Stacy also has a small Christmas present for all of you and all district admin. Every year we like to buy gift cards from local businesses and to share that with all of our members and all of you as well. So once again, thank you for everything. We're representing a large group of teachers and we keep growing every single day with teachers joining us. So we're really excited about that, and Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Thanks, Jenna May.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. State your name.
My name's Keith Johansson, and I'm in Corey's precinct. So, I just wanted to follow up what Jenna said. This is the last board meeting for Marianne and Tom, and I just wanted to thank the board for all that they do, all that you do for the students. I know that, you know, everything that you do is with their best interest at heart. And I might have shared this prior. You get old and you repeat yourself. But a few years, well, just after Tom was reelected in 2020 and going into 21, he was the board president, and he called up one day and he wanted to meet with Paul and me, and so he came in, Superintendent Sweaty, excuse me, I should be more formal. But he wanted to come in and meet with the two of us, and he said, I don't know how much longer the three of us are going to be together, but he said, I want to accomplish some things before I go. He said, and the first goal was I want to get a new high school. And the second goal was he wanted the teachers and the staff to be paid tops in the state. And at this point, I had fallen off my chair a couple of times, and so I forgot what number 3 was, but it might have been the student achievement factor. So he set 3 huge goals for us, and that's what a leader does.
I wanted to get an elementary school built in Midway. A new elementary.
Okay,
We're close.
but we were,
Buying the land tonight,
okay.
so.
Good deal. So he set out these goals, and at the time, I was a little overwhelmed by, you know, the gravity of these goals, but he and Paul together stayed pretty much laser focused on those goals, and we were able to get it done, and that's the mark of a great leader. And I just wanted to thank Tom specifically for all the effort to make all this happen. I've been around a long time with this district, and the teachers being tops, you know, as far as salary and benefits, has improved the morale remarkably, and as they said here tonight. And so thank you for all that you've done, specifically Tom and all of you as board members, to make all this happen. You've done some wonderful things for the students, and that's going to be your legacy. We'll always remember the years where we got a new high school, and we got a new salary schedule, and we did all these things for the teachers and the staff. So thank you.
Keith, you were there the whole time, so compliments go right back to you.
He was. So since tonight is the last board meeting, I feel like as the HR operations director, I should say a couple of things, because the 2 board members leaving tonight, you guys have been through some hard things, and we've talked about salaries. And as the HR director, I want you to know when I started 8 years ago, it was $32,000, and it's almost doubled in 8 years. And that's thanks to the entire board, but to Tom and to Mary Ann. Since tonight is your last night, I want to thank you for all the efforts and for the hard decisions and sitting up there and taking it sometimes, which brings me to my next point of COVID. That was a hard time. And we sat in this boardroom and took some bullets together, and you guys weathered that, and we did the right thing for kids. We stayed in school, and what an accomplishment that was of staying in school when the rest of the nation and the rest of the state were saying, hey, we're gonna go out, you guys stood your ground and said, we're not doing that. So, thanks to the entire board, as well as the safety, another thing that I'm over. And having a police officer in every building is way ahead of the game. And again, the board did it, Tom and Mary Ann, since tonight's your last night, thank you for that. And it's been a pleasure to work with you. I hope you know that. I will miss both of you, and good luck, and we're gonna miss you. But as we know, when I leave and when you leave, the work continues. And that's the nice thing about public education, is the work continues. No matter who's sitting in those chairs, no matter who's up here, the kids are what comes first. But tonight's your night, and we thank you. As a community, thank you. As an employee, thank you. And as a friend, thank you.
For the record, I just want to say to Keith and Sean, I appreciate your words, and I consider you friends, and I am unapologetic for public education and all the messiness that goes along with it, and it's been an absolute privilege to serve the residents of Wasatch County, and I'm not going anywhere. So I'll still be a community member and a parent of kids that go to the school. And if there's anything that this district ever needs from me, I'm one phone call away. So thank you for your kind words. I really appreciate it. Consider you guys friends.
I'll just add to that, thank you. It has been an honor and privilege, and we've been through a lot of battles, so to speak, over the last 4 years, and I've learned a lot. And experience has taught me a lot, and it truly is an honor and privilege to represent the constituents of Wasatch and to work alongside the people on this dais and work for kids. So thank you for your kind words. We appreciate everything that Keith has done over his many years. His legend still goes on in USBA and USSA and UASBO. And Sean, we appreciate everything you do here for Wasatch, so thank you.
I'm just gonna say publicly too, we've got a little bit something planned at the end of the meeting, but particularly with Mary Ann, I appreciate all that she's done with the state. And she's really helped us in a lot of ways as a board get aligned with the goals to be able to communicate with them, with the state board. Appreciate your leadership, Mary Ann, with that. And with that, any other comments here? I missed a little celebration part of it, and so I'm going to backtrack here a little bit and recognize Axel Stafford. Can you come on up and recognize you?
Come on up to the, if you
Come
don't
on up
mind,
and tell
come
us
on up.
about this. This is cool.
Every year, let me just give a little bit of a precursor here before Axel shares some thoughts with us. But every year we have a contest in the district. We have a contest of coming up with a Christmas card to send out to all of our constituents. It goes to hundreds and hundreds of places, if not thousands, and we have a contest to, we like to have student art from one of our own students. And if you want to hold that up, Axel, turn it back and show everybody. That is a picture. You can see it on the screen, I guess, of his card. And as the committee looks at lots of cards, there's also hundreds of cards that are chosen from, and I think this one rose to the top pretty easily. It really had a distinct look about it, and so well done. And of course, the great mountain of Timpanogos there in the background. This is truly a special piece of artwork, and we're so proud to send it out as Wasatch County School District's Christmas card, and we're even prouder that you made it for us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Axel, Is that a spot somewhere that you've been? Is that, where's that view from?
So my teacher for the assignment, we made this in like October or something. It was kind of weird, but the theme was supposed to be a traditional Wasatch Christmas, and I thought of like what came to mind when they said traditional and Wasatch was Timpanogos, and also
Snow.
Snow.
Most of the time.
Most of the time. Not right now, but so I drew Timpanogos in the background, and I didn't want there to be any big houses or anything like that, so I just made a field and these pine trees that are close to you. So you're sort of like looking through these pine trees into this field, and behind it is Timpanogos. And there's a little fence in the field, maybe a farmer or something. But yeah.
It's awesome. Appreciate it, buddy.
That's tremendous insight from one of our seventh graders. We're very impressed. You've got a future in front of you if you choose to do something in this area. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This is the first card we've ever done where my wife has stopped and said, wait a second, that's an awesome card. Oh,
Yeah, I
for sure.
have to say that I've been receiving the district Christmas cards actually long before I got on the board. So I've seen a lot of artwork, and they're all fabulous, wonderful from our students. But I will, and this is the truth, that when I opened it up, it caught my eye, and I'm like, wow, this is cool. So it's up on my board with all the other Christmas cards right there in the middle. So very good job.
Thank you.
Thanks, Axel.
Axel, I just want to say that you're my neighbor. I see you all the time. And I'm so glad that we're honoring you tonight. And I wasn't aware that we were doing that. So when I see neighbors come to board meeting, my first thing is, what have I done? And I'm so glad that we're
Because it probably
celebrating
is something he did.
something I did or something that I said that probably I shouldn't. But I'm so grateful and glad that you're a neighbor at Midway and that you're so talented, and keep developing that talent because it's special. So thanks for being who you are. Thanks to your parents, Star and Calder. You've raised a good boy there.
Thank you.
Thanks, Axel. Okay, with that, we'll move along here with our meeting, and we'll address consent items. And I want to turn the time here first to
I
Jason.
just want to
Yeah.
maybe make a comment before you approve the consent items. I've tried to talk to each of you about this as we move forward, but in the consent items this time you have a list of additions and some subtractions from the high school. When the high school was first bid, you all remember that it came in significantly over a budget the board was comfortable signing. And so we worked with Westland to value engineer the cost of it down to a number that was manageable, that you were comfortable signing a contract for. And the intent moving forward is that we would continue to work with Westland to identify potential places we could save money, to potentially add back in some of the items that we value engineered out, knowing that if we added some of these items back in at a later date, that it would cost the board and the taxpayers significantly more money than it would have if we could do it now. And so part of what you'll see on this list is some places where we have realized additional savings with Westland. One of the main areas was not part of a Westland, but we received some additional state money that we were able to use to pay for all of the construction of the public roads on the site. So the entirety of 1000 West, 5th North, and what we have to do to 600 West are being paid for with some additional state money, which then freed us up to stay under the contract level you guys approved, and be able to add in some things that we believed would make the project better better for kids, and that we were going to want to add in a later time. So anyway, that's what you have in here is a list of these things. These have not been added in yet. In the future, part of what we'll do moving forward, as we're not anticipating a lot more of these, or maybe even any more of these, but invariably there might be a few things that are changing with the project. We'll bring these to you as they arrive, and so that's why there's more on this one. There's kind of an accumulation of ones that we're proposing for your consideration.
So that'll kind of come through the consent items
Yeah.
on a monthly, okay, perfect.
In there.
Any other discussion there?
Jason, and just to clarify for the public and anyone watching, we're still on budget, correct?
Yes, the net result of these is about $2.8 million under budget. And so, but we're not, again, if we can keep it there, we will. And so, yeah, this is still a project that is on budget, under budget, and on schedule.
Just wanted that pointed out, thank you.
Do you have a comment? No? You good? Okay.
Keith.
From my understanding, Westland's been very good to add things back in at either at or maybe even slightly less than the original bid on some items.
It's actually remarkable that typically when you value engineer items out and then add them back in, because it's later than when it was originally bid, you have to pay additional. And they have such a good relationship with their subs and have been so great to work with that we have not had to do that with any of the items. This is all for the original amounts that they were bid for.
Anything else? Okay. With that, I'll make a motion to consider the consent items.
Okay, motion to approve consent items.
Second.
Any other discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we'd like to move into action items. Ide Bailey? Yeah, come on up.
So let me just, this is Paul Skeen. He represents Ide Bailey, who has performed audits on our school district for a number of years now. And his team has been with us, for a while in August, really closely, and at a distance for quite some time as they've gone through our financials. And so what Paul is here to do today is to present to you the results and the findings of the audit that they conducted. At the conclusion of his presentation, then the action item would be for you guys to approve the audit findings as presented.
Okay.
Perfect. Thanks, Jason. Appreciate the opportunity to be here. As Jason mentioned, we've done the audit for several years, and I don't always get a nice clear drive to come up to this. I've had some white knuckle drives home, so I'm grateful for the weather, and now that once I get home, let it snow. Just to give, I don't plan to go through the entire reporting package. Jason does a great job with the financials, and you get timely, accurate reports on a monthly basis. So my intent is to express those things that we're required to report on to the governing body, and then B, the actual reports that we issue. So some of the things that we're required to communicate, and as Jason alluded to, this audit process is a pretty long one. I'm sure he wishes it was not, because he has a day job in addition to dealing with annoying auditors. But we really start behind the scenes in July, and then we're up front and up close and personal starting in August and September, and then some more behind the scenes things until we issue. But our responsibility as auditors is to plan and execute an audit plan that allows us to opine on the financial statements. And that really speaks to our first report that we issue, and that's the independent auditor's report. Sorry, I got a little tongue-tied there. And we're issuing a clean opinion on the financial statements. That means that as we planned and executed our audit, the financials are presented, we done enough work to say that they are materially correct. And that includes
the numbers and the financial disclosures. So that's a great job. One of the things that we're required to issue that report is to be independent. And we can confirm that we go through great efforts to make sure that we remain independent in fact and appearance. Some of the other items that we're required to communicate to you that you've received in a letter, but I'll hit them at a highlight level. Any significant or difficulties encountered during the audit, and we did not have any. Uncorrected and corrected misstatements. A corrected misstatement is something that we identify as part of our audit that, if not corrected, would cause the financial statements to be materially misstated. And we did not have any of those. Those typically come with a material weakness or a significant deficiency, which we also did not have any of. That's in most organizations, it's not common to have those corrected misstatements. The lesser option is uncorrected misstatements, and that happens if we discover something that is misstated in some way, but it's not an amount that we would consider material. We work with management, we identify that, and then we all agree we can pass on that. Now that's great between us, but you as the board still have a responsibility. So we're required to communicate those uncorrected misstatements as well. And the real good news is we do not have any of those either. So we don't have to get into a debate on materiality because there were none. It was very clean. No disagreements with management, and again, cooperation from beginning to end. So I addressed the internal audit report, which is really covering the financial statements. There are 3 other reports that we're required to issue in connection with the district's audit. The first is the internal control and compliance report. We're required to understand the internal controls as they relate to the financial reporting system. We don't opine on those controls, but we do test those, we understand those, we walk through, we make sure that they're adequate. And as alluded to earlier, we did not have any material weaknesses or significant deficiencies with those. So a clean report there. The next report is our report on federal major programs. And we test any program that is over $750,000 expended in a year needs to be tested every 3 years. And then there's some other requirements that allow us to, on a rotational basis, select the programs that we think are at higher risk. We had no findings as a result of that testing either. And then the last report that we issue is required by the state auditor. And it deals with specific state compliance matters that some apply to any local government within the state. And there are some requirements that are specific to school districts. And again, we had no findings from that. So what that all amounts to is a very boring audit report, which is everyone's goal. We don't want exciting audit reports because those typically mean that there's a problem. So we appreciate the relationship we've had with the district. We appreciate the board allowing us to continue in this capacity. Jason, thank you to you and your team. Keith made some guest appearances this year to kind of help make sure we got to the finish line. And again, a great team effort, and really appreciate the opportunity. And I would answer any or entertain any questions that you may have.
Anyone? Okay. Thank you very much. I'll entertain a motion.
Okay, motion to, let's see. Consideration to approve the 2024 audit report.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Gonna pause right here, Zach, just a minute. I'm gonna turn the time over to Paul Sweat.
So we're going to invite Principal Kelly and Principal Bishop to come to the podium. They have another appointment they need to meet, so we're gonna switch the agenda up a little bit. I appreciate President Bluth allowing that to happen. So as we talked in study session, and I'll repeat for those that might be listening that were not here for that. Yesterday, I had the privilege of attending a faculty meeting at Wasatch High School. And during that meeting, I announced that Justin Kelly will be the new principal of Iron Horse High School and go by the mascot Thunder. And we're very excited for him. He's got years and years of experience as both assistant principal and as a principal, and principal of Wasatch High for 4 years now. He's extremely well prepared for this new assignment. He will be coming to the district to occupy an office over here. He's got lots of things waiting for him to get going on. And I know that there's lots of folks here with things in the hopper, and we need his help as we finish the new school. We need his help as it relates to furniture, fixture, and equipment, making sure that we're on schedule, making sure that we're ready to go with those things the minute the construction company turns the keys over to us. We're gonna have a short window to be prepared to move into that building and start as a new high school here in our valley. As he stated earlier, the brick and mortar part of it might be the easy part of it, and he's got a lot of work to do behind the scenes as he puts a team together, a team of teachers, a team of counselors, and the list goes on. So lots of work to be done. We see a lot of wisdom in giving him ample time to do that, and I'd like to maybe ask him to share a few thoughts with us, and then we'll continue with Mr. Bishop.
I'm speechless. Thank you to the board for entrusting me to lead this once in every 120-something years, right? This is something new. None of us were here when Wasatch High was established, but I just want to say thanks to Tom and Mary Ann for all that you've done for Wasatch School District and for myself. As I stated in our study session, I'm excited. I'm excited to start something that no one ever has done in Wasatch County, except for once. This is twice. And it's overwhelming, it's humbling, but I have good people around me, and we're gonna do everything we can so that Iron Horse, it's fun to say Iron Horse now, isn't it? I mean, come on. It's fun to have a school with a name. I kept singing to myself, I've been on a desert with a horse with no name. I changed the words to school with no name, and here we are. We're the Iron Horse Thunder. And it's exciting. It's exciting for kids. Today, Mr. Bishop and myself went on Sting TV and talked to the kids, and I got emotional. I'm going to miss the kids. I like adults, but not as good as I do kids. And it was fun to know that there was a class full of kids producing a TV show for 12 minutes. How cool is it going to be to have 2 classes doing that? 2 football teams, 2 basketball teams, 2 of everything, so that kids can be involved. Because as we studied today in our PLCs, that the most important things kids can do is have relationships with adults. And you get that by having a smaller high school than 2,700. Today I had a student that said, "Hey, Mr. Kelly, thanks for all you have done for me." And I'm like, I don't even know your name. I didn't tell him that. But that's sad that I don't know every kid's name. And to me, I think that's the cool part that's going to happen. We talk about Iron Horse being a new school. Wasatch High School is going to be a new school as well. It's going to be 2 new schools because it's going to look different. And that's what's exciting. So thank you. I know I've taken a lot of time and you guys have a lot on your plate. But I'm excited to be an Iron Horse Thunder. I was a Wasatch High School grad. I've been a principal there for 4 years, but go Thunder.
Justin, before you sit down, I just want to tell you how grateful I am for all of your service for the last 4 years and what you have done leading up to this. I mean, it's very similar to what I said about Jason when he was put in the position for the business administrator. Is right or wrong, up or down, you've been interviewing for this for your career. And every day you go to work, you've made the right decisions. And that's what leaders do, is they make the hard decisions, but they end up eventually making the right decisions. And all of your decisions have come to this point where you're the man for the job. And we support you 100% out in the public. We support you 100% behind closed doors. And we are grateful for what you've done at Wasatch High and what you will do at Iron Horse High School.
Mr. Ryan Bishop, if you'll step up to the podium. Mr. Ryan Bishop comes to us with some unique experiences. He's worked in 2 different school districts. He grew up in Cedar City. His dad is a legendary football coach, Hall of Fame at SUU. The reason I bring up his dad is because Ryan's father is also a legendary coach at Wasatch High School. And I've got a couple of older brothers that still worship the ground that Jack Bishop walks on and still tell stories about Jack to this day. So interestingly enough, if you read Ryan's bio as it went out today, it says that he's a proud native of Heber City, and that's because his dad was coaching here and his mom living here, and he was actually born while they were living here in Heber City. I don't know how soon after that you left, but we'll take it. We'll take you as a native, and we appreciate your roots. And during the time he spent in other districts, he's extremely well thought of around the state. He's accomplished some great things, and he's spent the last 8 years being an assistant at Wasatch High. He's been over all the activities. He's also been immersed in student achievement and helping lead that as well. Having the experience at Wasatch with 2 different principals, I think's given him a lot of great experience to now step in and be the principal at Wasatch High. And Iron Horse Thunder is cool. And kids are going to want to go to Iron Horse Thunder. And we've got to make sure we have a leader at Wasatch High that's going to continue holding up our beloved Wasatch High as a cool place to go to school as well. And Ryan is a leader that can do that. He's a people person. It doesn't matter if it's with kids. Doesn't matter if it's with little kids, high school kids, or adults. He's an engaging man that everybody likes to be around, likes to talk to. I think we're very fortunate to have him be our new principal at Wasatch High School, and to have 2 men of the quality and caliber to step forward at this very important time in our district to lead these 2 schools is remarkable. And we'll give you a few moments to share some thoughts, Mr. Bishop.
Thank you, Superintendent. I appreciate that. And I want to echo what's been said. I had a chance, Marianne and I crossed paths when she was in the Heber County School District and I was in the Davis District. And I've really appreciated the opportunity to get to know you and work with you closely, Marianne. And I want to say goodbye to you tonight. And again, it's been a pleasure. And Tom, thank you for the legacy that you've left Wasatch County School District. And I'm sure it's bittersweet for the both of you, but I've enjoyed my time, and you've been a great example of what a strong leader should be in our district. And I hope that I can take some of those things that you've portrayed as the school board president. And I've appreciated the opportunity to work alongside of you, because that's how you've made us feel. So thank you for that.
I thank you for what Superintendent said. I told the faculty yesterday that I feel like the Wasatch High School faculty has grown me as a leader. This is my 28th year in education. I had some wonderful experiences before this, but my 8 years in Wasatch District and with our current faculty has been the pinnacle of my career. I have so many people I would like to, thank and that I appreciate, and I hate to leave, anyone out, and obviously several of them are in front of me right now. But I have really appreciated the opportunity that I've had to work with two great principals at Wasatch High, and I just want to focus on that tonight. I learned so much about the district and the legacy of Wasatch High School from Todd Johnson. And, Todd was the sitting principal when I was hired the year superintendent came to be the superintendent in the district. And I appreciate Todd's mentorship of me. And then 4 years later, I had the opportunity to work with Justin. And Justin and I, he used the word compromise tonight. Earlier in the day when he was talking about he and I's relationship, he used the word argue. But it's always for the better. And I've appreciated that dialogue with Justin. And we have had a great relationship. And I am looking forward and excited. Everybody's walking around today like I should be nervous. And I'm not nervous yet. I'm not. And I'm also not apologizing for it. Because I am incredibly excited. And I'm incredibly excited to go through this school separation. We're not calling it a split. We're calling it a separation. Because we're just having two comprehensive high schools in different locations. And I'm excited to do it with Justin. And we're going to have a friendly little rivalry, and we banter a little bit. But I'm incredibly grateful to have the opportunity to do it alongside him. It is going to be difficult to see him go out of the building in January, but I also think it's a necessary path that we need to take as we move forward with our faculty and our staff, and get prepared to go through the process next year to create this separation. And I appreciate what the superintendent said, and I'm going to end with, it's always cool to throw the dubs out, superintendent. So, we're going to keep those dubs going, even though there's a new high school with a great name in the valley. So thank you very much, and dubs out.
Hey,
Billy-
go ahead. You go. Nope, I'll go last.
I wasn't trying to interrupt before, so that's why I'm just leaving it to the end. I just want to personally thank both of you guys and your administrators and your teachers for all the good that you have done. I'm speaking as a board member, but also as a parent of a freshman at the very large high school right now. Thank you for all the good that you have done for those students and for everything you've done over the last 4 years. The good that you've done does not go unnoticed, so thank you. We appreciate you, and it's been a pleasure working with you. Thanks.
This is just coming from a parent. Thank you. You've watched out for my kids. You've been there for them through some rough times. And I just want to say thank you to that.
I'll go last.
I was just going to say, you two guys are my heroes, and I also we go so far back and appreciate everything you do. I'm so looking forward to the future with you two fellows at the helm. But you're heroic in the eyes of many, and here's to the future and excited. So appreciate it. Tommy?
Corey, you got
I better not be left out, so. I'm excited for both of you. I'm sure you're excited for the opportunities you have. We're in good hands, and I'm excited to see what you'll do. I think it'll be fun to see how you work together for both schools, and I don't think we're gonna see a division between two schools, because I think you two will make it happen, that you keep them together and work together, so.
So,
We'll be watching to see how you do that.
hey, Stacy, do you have that photo that I sent? The one thing that I just want to let this group know, because there is a shelf life on being a principal. And I think when you look at Paul, and you look at Sean, and you look at Todd, there'll be a time where you walk away from being the principal at Wasatch High School and walk away from being the principal. Justin, you're walking away from that now, but from Iron Horse High School. So some advice from somebody that's walking away from the Board of Education after 8 years, is there are decisions that you and only you as principals will have the privilege of making. And this goes for all leaders who have any responsibility over any capacity. There are decisions that you and only you as that leader will make. And you can't delegate the decision. You can't outsource the decision because the buck stops with the leader. And when I look back on my 8 years, this quote is what it's all about. And the takeaway of every word in this quote is true. And you could break it down and write an essay on it. That true grit, and we know that grit is the intersection of passion and perseverance. So that intersection is making a decision. So that's number one. You got to make the decision. And number two, you can't unwind it. And trust me, I've seen so many decisions backed out of that show a lack of leadership. When you've made it, listen, you're in that role, make it and stand by it. And then there's a component of you do it because it's right. And so the next part is doing what must be done. You do what's right, regardless of the consequence. And then at the end of the day, when you walk away, the peace of mind knowing that you leave things undone that nobody else could have done. And so that's my challenge. That's my advice from a leader that has sat in this seat and have made some really hard decisions, have had to stand by those decisions, and I'm at peace because no one else could have made them. And if I didn't make them, they never would have gotten done. So take that, go into your next career as a principal, knowing that anywhere between 5+ years you'll walk away with it, but make those hard decisions, stand by them, make sure that they're the right ones, and then let the dust follow, let the dust fall, have peace of mind that you did it because you were the principal and no one else is. So congratulations and give them hell.
Thanks.
Okay, before we end,
We got to kind of move on because we've got dinner waiting for us at 7:30.
okay, wait, there are five Wasatch High School principals in here. I want to see Ryan do the new wave thing.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, you guys. Go get them, boys.
All right, like I say, we got to pick up the pace a little bit. Zach, you're front and center.
Like I'm always the person that stands up and talks after something inspirational. So sorry about that. So what we have for you tonight is a proposal from Navigate 360. They provide CSTAG training, which is our comprehensive school threat assessment guidelines. Part of House Bill 84 requires that all our threat assessment teams be CSTAG trained. We already have purchased part of this package from them, which is the level 1 training. This is to train 3 people in our district to be trainers so that they can then train the other 30+ people that need it. So my proposal is that the board accept the quote for $9,000 from Navigate 360 for the CSTAG training.
Okay, motion to approve Navigate 360 for $9,000.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Zach, as you're leaving, I'm just gonna say thank you for all you've done. And you come up here and you say you're not inspirational. You are.
I'm
'Cause
not.
You're always on budget or under
If
budget.
I was
and
inspirational,
you
I'd
get
have said lots of
stuff
nice
done.
things to you and Tom because you are both amazing.
Well,
But
no, I'm not saying it for that. I'm saying sincerely, thank you for all that you've done. I
thank
know
you,
put in
both
a
of
lot
you.
of work. So, thanks.
Okay.
All right, our next item, we're going to have Kim speak here just a bit.
Okay, for items 3 and 4, consideration of employee bullying policy and consideration of the ethical conduct policy, I propose that I'll make a motion to table it because we didn't go over it during study session. So motion to table it until next month.
Next month.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Is that all right, Jace? Cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Paul?
So as previously mentioned, we have talked, and I won't go into too much detail. I think the board is very well aware of our current state of affairs at Midway Elementary, it's definitely overcrowded. We have students in 8 portables that surround the main building. We have several other issues at Midway that our staff and our maintenance crew and so on, they do a great job keeping students safe and keeping the school viable. But we know that it cannot be a long-term plan for elementary children in Midway. And so with that, the board I'm proposing for the board tonight to take some steps to shore up the future in Midway and purchase a piece of property that will allow us to build a new elementary school in Midway when the time is right. So if we can go down to the price, I think that's our most important part of this. I'm proposing that we buy 12 acres. It's across the road. It's across Mitchie Lane to the south of the current school. We're purchasing 12 acres from the LDS Church for a price of $4,740,000.
So moved.
Second? Is there a second?
You can second it.
All right, I'll second it.
I thought you were.
Okay, second. Any discussion there?
I just know this has been a long time.
Yeah.
We've worked on this I've been on the board for 7 years, and it was talked about 7 years ago, and then it was off the table for quite a while, so this is a good day. As the superintendent said, when the time is right, we'll look at building a school there. We're not announcing that, we're not, but buying the land's been very, very difficult, and it's a piece of ground we wanted, and this is a good day that we're able to buy it.
Well said. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I just want to thank Paul specifically for following this through. This has been one of the goals that we wanted to get accomplished. We were disappointed that the bond failed back in 2019 to build the second high school and this elementary school. That bond consisted of both these schools. And from there, it was up in the air on what the plan and the strategy for the elementary school in Midway is and was, and today that puts to rest. There will be a new elementary school in Midway. There will be a new Midway Elementary School, and that is going to benefit the kids in Midway and the surrounding areas for years and years to come. And it's a great day. It's a banner day for Wasatch School District to be able to finally get this resolved, and I just want to thank Paul for making it happen, because if it weren't for him, it wouldn't be done.
Thank you, Tom.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thanks. Okay, passes. Again, board report.
My last one for USBA. I know you guys are so riveted by this information. We had our board meeting on Friday, so look for your email on that. The new board member workshop did happen. Of the 52 new members in the state, I think they said that there were 46 there, so that was pretty good. And then just annual conference that's coming up that first week in January after everybody's sworn in. Can get sworn in again on that Monday. And then just kind of my last reports from USBA. Obviously, my law and licensing with USBE is ending. My chair of the committee that I reported on, Matt Hymas, is the new state board chair, along with Molly Hart again, and then Leanne Wood. And then master board certification. I'm the chair of that. For the first time ever, they have all 41 districts in the state of Utah have members of their boards that have gone through that professional development. And there's still time to complete if you haven't done it. There are full boards that have completed it that are plugging along as well. As for Region 4, my term is obviously ending, but what I was told at my board meeting on Friday is that I will actually be going to another board meeting in January, because my term there does not end until someone is voted in to replace me at the end of the conference. So you'll get one more email from that board meeting and that last joint legislative committee meeting that I am at. And then Region 4 will need someone else from our district, Park City South Summer Summit, to be voted in on Saturday at the annual conference. So, thanks, guys. It's been a wild ride.
Marianne, thank you. I just want to personally say thank you, and I'm sure speaking for everybody.
Thanks.
Thank you for all the work that you have done at the USBE level, and all the work that you've done here with us. We've gone through some rough things, but we've also gone through some good things, positive things. We've done some good work, and I just want you to know I personally appreciate that.
Good segue, good time to announce, again, just me publicly too, want to thank Tom, want to thank Mary Ann. We have a little token. Stace, if you could help with that, appreciate it.
Isn't that what this is? Thanks, Stace. Thank you. No, I was gonna say, lots of flowers. Tom, you getting flowers?
Tom gets a plaque.
They wouldn't know what to do with
I
flowers.
wouldn't, I just give it to Sarah.
And thanks to Tom Hansen too.
As we adjourn, let's get some pictures in front of the bench, with the plaques, and
That'd be great.
we'll do that quickly. So very quickly, you see on the agenda, we've talked at length about graduation being May 29th, at the football stadium. Utah High School activities realignment. Wasatch High School now clearly falls in the 6A division. We petitioned to go down to stay in 5A for one more alignment with the opportunity at the mid-year. We do alignment every 2 years. At the mid-year, to be considered dropping into the 4A classification. It looks clearly as though our two schools, at least right now as we're looking at it, the two new school, the Wasatch High and Iron Horse would be in the 4A classification. You're only allowed to drop one classification with a 40% reduction because of new schools opening. That's all in the bylaws of the high school activities, and so it's important that we were allowed to stay in 5A, and that decision has been made. And Wasatch will be 5A for the first year of the new realignment, and the next year we'll have two schools in a similar Utah County 4A region that will probably include Park City and Uinta. So that's the update on high school activities. And that's all I have. I think we're going to, I don't know what the exact language is here, if anybody wants to help me out, but we are gonna adjourn for, a little social. We're having a little Christmas social with the board in the room, next door. At the end of that social, we will be, revisiting or returning to our executive session that started at 4 p.m. To finish some unfinished business that needs to be taken care of later this evening.
Very good. Okay, I make a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
And to return to.
And return
And return
for
to our
executive.
executive session
Later.
later.
Continued.
Continuing from our 4 o'clock executive session meeting.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thanks, let's get a picture.